Come all of you, come all of us, and bless the one who blesses. Come all of you, come all of us, and bless the one who blesses. Blessed is the blessed one. Blessed is the giver of blessings. Blessed in this moment now and every now to come. Blessed is the blessed one. Blessed is the giver of blessings. Blessed in this moment now and every now to come. Come all of you, come all of us, and bless the one who blesses. Come all of you, come all of us, and bless the one who blesses. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. Come all of you, come all of us, and bless the one who blesses. Come all of you, come all of us, and bless the one who blesses. Do-do-do, do-do-do-do-do-do-do, do-do-do-do-do,
Am I awake? Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared? Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la, 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 ya la 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 la. Am I awake? Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared? Ya la 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 la, 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 ya la 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 la. Baruch Hu et Adonai המבורך. ברוך אדוני המבורך לעולם ועד, לעולם ועד. יאללה לילה אליי, 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 יאללה לילה אליי.
הנה מה טוב ומה נעים שברחים גם יחד. 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 How good it is, how sweet it is, to be together on this day. How good it is, how sweet it is, to be together on this day. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים שברחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים שברחים גם יחד. שלום עליכם, סלאם עליכום. שלום עליכם, סלאם עליכום. שלום עליכם, סלאם עליכום. שלום עליכם, סלאם עליכום. How good it is, how sweet it is, to be together on this day. How good it is, how sweet it is, to be together on this day. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים שברחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים שברחים גם יחד. שלום עליכם, סלאם עליכום. שלום עליכם, סלאם עליכום.
הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבר אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבר אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבר אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבר אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבר אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבר אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבר אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבר אחים גם יחד.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome, and Shabbat Shalom, and Shana Tova once again. We're so glad that you're all here, and those of you who are in person with us here at Temple Israel, and many of you who are with us via the live stream, we say hello and send our greetings to you as well. I'm Rabbi Michael Friedman, so pleased to be joined by Rabbi Zach Pleasant, and by Mike Lantowski, and by Eric and Sean, who are beaming our service out to hundreds of others who are not here with us physically, but we're so glad that everyone is here. We have a number of wonderful celebrations this Shabbat, this weekend, the Bat Mitzvah of Lexi Davis and of Sam and Alex Gottlieb. The room is prepared for a little bit of a celebration. You might hear balloons spontaneously popping every few minutes, and if so, it's okay. It's not a security risk, I promise.
Shabbat is a celebration.
Shabbat is a celebration. The balloons are very happy. That's why they're popping, right? Okay, good. And so whether you were here with us just a couple of days ago, or maybe this is your first time here, or your first time back in a long time, what we like to say is you've always belonged right here. To get us started, we're going to invite our 3 Banot Mitzvah. Ladies, come forward for the honor of lighting the candles, page 120 in your Siddur.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Friends, around the world, we Jews greet Shabbat by singing. Singing opens us up, helps us release tension, makes space for joy and hope. Around the world, we welcome Shabbat by singing because we need to get rid of all that stuff from the week and welcome in the beauty of this day. And so we'll sing the Psalms, L'chuna Ranana and Shir Chadash, pages 130 and 131 together.
Let us sing unto God a new song. Let us sing unto God Sing unto God a new song. Yai lai la lai lai la lai lai lai. Yai lai la lai lai la lai. Yai lai la lai lai la lai 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 lai. Yai lai la lai lai la lai. Yai lai la lai lai la lai. Lechu neranena, lechu neranena l'Adonai, nariya letzur yishenu, nekadma fanav betoda, bizmirot nariya lo, bizmirot nariya lo. Yai lai lai, yai lai la lai lai la lai lai lai, yai lai la lai lai la lai, yai lai la lai lai la lai 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 lai, yai lai la lai lai la lai, yai lai la lai lai la lai. Let us sing unto God. Sing unto God a new song. Let us sing unto God a new song. Yai lai la lai lai la lai lai lai. Yai lai la lai lai la lai. Yai lai la lai lai la lai 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 lai. Yai lai la lai lai la lai. Yai lai la lai lai la lai.
Page 131.
Shiru l'Adonai kol haaretz. Shiru l'Adonai shir chadash. Shiru l'Adonai kol haaretz. Shiru l'Adonai shir chadash. Sing unto God all the earth a new song. I will sing unto God a new song. Sing unto God and we'll all sing along. All the earth a new song unto God. Shiru l'Adonai kol haaretz. Shiru l'Adonai shir chadash. I will sing unto God a new song.
On pages 138 and 139, we have our song of welcome. Centuries ago, rabbis in the northern Israeli town of Sfat used to leave the town as dusk was arriving on Friday afternoons. They used to go out into the fields and the orchards and welcome Shabbat as the light filtered through the branches of the fruit trees. And they wrote this poem welcoming, as we call it, the Shabbat beloved, welcoming into our lives that goodness, that peace, that togetherness, that tranquility that we all cherish. We'll sing verses 1, 2, and 5, and then we'll rise and face the entrance of the sanctuary for the 9th verse.
Lecha dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekabela. שמור וזכור בדיבור אחד, השמיענו אל המיוחד, אדוני אחד ושמו אחד, לשם ולתפארת ולתפילה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, בני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, בני שבת נקבלה. לקראת שבת לכו ונלכה, כי מקור הברכה, מראש מקדם נסוכה, סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, בני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, בני שבת נקבלה. התעוררי, התעוררי, כי באורך קומי אורי. אורי אורי שיר דברי, כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, בני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, בני שבת נקבלה.
Rise and face the entrance of the sanctuary.
בואי ושלום עטרת בעלה, גם בשמחה ובצהלה, תוך אמוני עם סגולה. בואי כלה, בואי כלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, בני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, בני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, בני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, בני שבת נקבלה.
Now that we're warmed up, and we've utilized our voices, it's time to enter the heart of our prayer service, page 146, Baruch Hu.
Ya la 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 la, 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 ya la 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 la. Barechu et Adonai HaMevorach, Baruch Adonai HaMevorach, Le'olam Va'ed. la 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 la, ya 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 la 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 la.
You may be seated. On page 149, I invite you to join with me together at the top of the page, these words, thanking God for the cycles of our natural world. We're so very aware of them at this and all times of year. Judaism guides us to be aware of cycles of darkness and light, of growth and decay, of warmth and cool. So please join with me. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, from whom the evening flows. Your wisdom sets the way on which time and season glide. Your breath guides the sail of the stars. Creator of the tide of time and light, you guide the current of day into night. As heaven spans to infinity, you set its course for eternity. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, from whom the evening flows. Baruch atah Adonai, ha'ma'ariv aravi.
Page 152. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
It is tremendous and it's beautiful that every single time we get together to worship, we sing Michamocha. Michamocha is the song that our people sang as we passed from freedom, from slavery into freedom. It's as if every time we get together, we relive that moment. The moment that we went from slaves to being a free people. The moment really we started to be Jews. So I invite you to join me and Rabbi and Mike on page 158, reliving that singular moment, Michamocha.
Michamocha, Ba'elim Adonai, Michamocha, Nedar Bakodesh, Nora, Tehilot, Osei, Feleh, Nora, Tehilot, Osei, Feleh, Malchutecha, Ra'u banecha, Bokei hayam, Lifnei Moshe u'Miriam, Zeli anu ve'amru, Adonai Yimloch Leolam
As we turn now to page 160 for Hashkivenu, every week when the clergy team sits down to think about what services are going to look like, and we think about what musical settings we're going to choose for each prayer, every time a composer creates a new melody for a prayer, it's their midrash, it's their take on what that prayer means, what that prayer says. Hashkivenu is the prayer where we ask for shelter and protection from God. We say, Ufros aleinu sukkot shlomecha, this sukkah of shalom, this sukkah of peace. So on the Shabbat, right before we start the holiday of Sukkot, we will see these Sukkot out in our beautiful brand new sukkah that Temple Israel has that we'll be building on Sunday. We are keenly aware of that need for protection, that need for shelter. This musical setting of Hashkivenu is a lullaby. As we drift off to sleep, we ask for God's protection throughout the night. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom V'hamidenu shomreinu lechayim Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom V'hamidenu shomreinu lechayim Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom V'hamidenu shomreinu lechayim May you shelter us with peace until the morning comes. May you lay us down with love, and may you raise us up. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom V'hamidenu shomreinu lechayim Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom V'hamidenu shomreinu lechayim
Rabbi Abraham Joshua Heschel wrote that prayer is an invitation. Prayer invites God's presence to dwell within our spirits and God's will to prevail in our lives. Prayer may not bring water to parched fields, nor mend a broken bridge, nor rebuild a ruined city. But prayer can water an arid soul. Prayer can mend a broken heart. And prayer can rebuild a weakened will. With those thoughts in mind, we rise for the blessings of the Amidah, beginning on page 164.
Ya la 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 la, 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 ya
ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Adonai sifatai tiftach ufi yagid tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise.
Page 166.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Velohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Velohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Velohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Vekonei Hakol, Vezocher Chasdei Avot ve'imahot, Umevi Geula libnei bneihem, Lema'an Shemo be'ahava, Melech Ozer u'Moshia u'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Abraham ve'ezrat Sarah.
Page 168.
Atah Gibor le'olam Adonai, Mechayeh hakol atah Rav lehoshia, Morid hatal, Mechalkel chayim bechesed, Mechayeh hakol berachamim rabim, Sohomech noflim verofei cholim, Umatir asurim, Umkayem emunato lishenei afar. Micha mocha baal gevurot, umido melach, melech meimit umechayeh, umatzmiach Yeshua, v'ne'eman atah lahachayot hakol. Baruch atah Adonai, mechayeh hakol. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, ukroshim b'chol yom yahalelu chasela. Baruch atah Adonai, ha'el hakadosh.
At this time, we invite you to take the next few moments of quiet as a gift, to offer your own prayers. They could be just the prayers that you can find deep within your own heart and soul, or they could be the prayers that you find in our prayer book through page 181. Whatever you choose is fine, and you can be seated when you have completed your few moments of personal prayer. Page 645, at the very foot of the page, The eternal words of our prophet Isaiah. Nation shall not lift up sword against nation, nor shall anyone study war anymore.
יישא גוי אל גוי חרב, לא ילמדו עוד מלחמה. לא יישא גוי אל גוי חרב, לא ילמדו עוד מלחמה. יישא גוי אל גוי חרב, לא ילמדו עוד מלחמה. לא יישא גוי אל גוי חרב, לא ילמדו עוד מלחמה.
We chose that particular verse and that particular song from the prophet Isaiah for a very specific reason this evening, and that's because this is a very special Shabbat here at Temple Israel. It is true that it's special because of you, Lexi, and you, Sam, and you, Alex, no question. But this Shabbat is also the start of something completely new. You guys know a little bit about it, but nobody else does, really. But I'm going to start with, I'm not going to tell you yet what it is. I'm going to start with Torah portions. Okay. So, throughout the year, we often say there's a Torah portion of the week. What does that mean? Well, we start reading, the whole Jewish community, the entire Jewish world starts from the beginning of the Torah on what holiday? Very good. Simchat Torah, well done. Okay, which is a week from Monday. It's the end of Sukkot. So the 17th will be Simchat Torah here. So we unroll the whole scroll. You should, if you've never seen this, you should totally come. It's super cool. You guys used to come often. We unroll the entire Torah scroll around the sanctuary. You get to see the entire thing open. You get to hold it, and it's unrolled vertically all the way around the sanctuary. That's one of the ways we get it from the end back to the beginning. So we all start at the beginning with Genesis on Simchat Torah. And we read the Torah over the course of the year. And so basically in a year, we read from the beginning to the end of the scroll. And the scroll is divided into roughly equal sections, a few chapters a week. Call it 3 or 4 chapters a week that the entire Jewish world reads at the same time. So whether you go to a synagogue here or in Israel or France or Argentina, everybody's going to be reading the same verses from the Torah on that same day. Thus, the whole Torah is read over the course of a year. If you go to a Shabbat morning service, though, you'll know that that's not the only part of the Bible that we read. What else do we read after the Torah? Haftorah, or you were going to say, Sam? Or you were going to say something else? Or Lexi said it? The prophets. Okay, so Haftarah, good, no, both are correct. Both are correct. Haftarah is totally correct. Haftarah does not mean half the Torah. Haftarah it's actually a totally different Hebrew root and set of Hebrew letters, even though it looks very similar in English. Haftarah means completion. No reading of the Torah is complete without an accompanying reading from our prophets that we call the Haftarah. That's why both readings are correct. So the next section of the Hebrew Bible after Torah is prophets, and we read a portion of the prophets. Prophets doesn't work the same way the Torah works. You don't start at the beginning and read to the end over the course of a year and just read a few chapters. That's not how it works. The Haftarah system was devised, millennia, 13th century, is that what it is? Okay, I didn't know that. Thank you, Rabbi. You did the research. so 800 years ago, we're in the 21st century, that's 800 years ago roughly, by rabbis. And they said, for this Torah portion from Genesis, we should read, this portion from Isaiah. We're going to put it here, these verses from Isaiah. And this next Torah portion, we're going to read, from the prophet Jeremiah. And they took it and put it here. And for this next Torah portion, we're going to read from the prophet, Amos. He has something good to say that's related, and we're going to put it here. And thus, over the course of the year, they took the 54, I believe there's 54 Torah portions, the Jewish year's calendar. That's another sermon. They took 54 different selections from the prophets that they thought were perfect for life in the 13th century. And they attached them to Torah portions. Fast forward to and by the way, it wasn't even consistent across the Jewish world. The Ashkenazic Haftarah portions, meaning if you're Jews from Central and Eastern Europe, they had these portions. Sephardic Jews from Spain and the Mediterranean regions of Southern Europe had different selections from the prophets sometimes. So it wasn't even consistent across the Jewish world. Fast forward to the 21st century. I've been a rabbi for 18 years, and there are still Haftarah portions. I have no idea what they mean. I've tried to make sense of them once a year, every single Shabbat. I can't make heads or tail. And I've gotten frustrated with trying to explain them to congregants and bar and bat mitzvah students. So I thought several years ago now, it's taken a while to get here. Several years ago, I thought, well, if rabbis just, one day picked portions from here and there and attached them to, nobody seems to think, nobody claims that these are divinely ordained. God said, you must read this portion at this, this Haftarah with this Torah portion. What's to stop us as Reformed Jews from making our own choices? It seemed a little arduous and also unnecessary to choose our own 54 different passages. But amongst the whole writings of the prophets, who are these incredible ancient figures, they lived between, let's call it 2,700 and 2,400 years ago. And we usually think of prophets as people who told the future, who could see the future. Some of them could, but I have to tell you, their future-telling abilities were not that great. It's like it's thundering and lightning outside, and you say, I think it's going to rain. Everybody could see the writing on the wall. These guys weren't so visionary, but what they were is they were compelling. They were compelling poets who tried to channel God's word and share it with everybody. And I say guys, we'll get to that in a second, Lexi. And I say guys. They said they were guys, so we'll get to that in a second. So some of the words of our prophets are wonderful and iconic, and they should make us proud, and we still cherish them millennia later. So now we get to what's special about this Shabbat. Sorry, it's been such a long explanation. What's special about this Shabbat is we created a program and a system whereby our B'nai Mitzvah students would study essentially the top 10 or the greatest hits of the prophets. Here, you guys can share these. Pass these around. Oh, thank you, Rabbi. You guys can share these. You guys know them, but here. Our students would study the greatest hits of the prophets. They would choose their own Haftarah portion from among these, and then they would write just a little paragraph about why they chose the one that they chose. You guys see your choice in there? Yeah? Which one, Alex? On the first page, the one with the, I guess both sides have the logo, which is good. Isaiah 1:16 to 18 is the one that Alex chose. And if you come tomorrow morning, which I encourage you to do, you will hear her explain why she chose it. I'm not going to put you on the spot. I know it's in your book. I'm not going to put you on the spot right now. Sam, do you see your choice in there? Sam chose Zechariah 7:9 to 10 on the two above the Isaiah one. Okay? And you too will be explaining why this is the one that spoke to you, why this is the one that you're choosing to read on this most important day of your entire life. Lexi even like, she like upped the ante on us, okay? She said, why are they all men? Weren't there any women prophets? Not in the ones we gave. Well, right, exactly. There are a few women in the Hebrew Bible who are described as prophets. A few, not as many as there are men, but there are a few. And you said, I want to read from a woman prophet. And so you chose something from the prophet Deborah, and that's what you're going to read, and you're going to explain that at your bat mitzvah ceremony tomorrow. And now we've included that passage by Deborah in the range of options that future students can have. Okay, it's not on this sheet, but it's going to be in future options. So yeah, exactly, isn't it? Excellent. So this is going to be now how we educate our youth and how we keep the words of the prophet alive, the prophets alive in our own time, and how we reclaim the important Reformed Jewish value of choice by giving you guys a choice of what, throughout the whole corpus of our tradition, which of these iconic words speaks to you? Which of these iconic words do you want to associate yourself with on this most important day of your life? May we continue to innovate in ways such as these, and may we continue to bring new life to our treasured tradition always. Ken Yehi Ratzon.
Amen. I'm so excited for you guys. I had the privilege of working with all three of these young women to choose these haftarah portions. So I'm so excited that this is happening.
Me too.
When we are excited about new, innovative, exciting, sort of forward-thinking moments in our lives, in our transition, in our tradition, in our personal lives, sometimes when we're especially excited, we're also aware of things that are not as exciting, and that those two things go hand in hand. When we are extra excited, we are more aware of the suffering that's happening in our community, in our lives, in our families. And so we turn to the words of Misha Berach to bring that suffering, that sadness and sorrow that's happening in our own personal lives and our families for ourselves forward into this community so we can, as one, recognize those names of family members and friends. We can hold each other in this space, and we can send out all of our support and love towards that healing process. So if there's someone in your life that you want to bring forward for healing at this time, please do so. And as a temple community, we are thinking of Yisrael Avraham Ben Hia Rachel, Marta Adams, Matthew Burstein, Eva Cooper, Carol Dichter, William Dichter, Frida Easton, Steve Elliott, Louise Friedman, Maurice Friedman, Rhoda Friedland, Jackie Fuchs, Lanny Gans, Jeff Helfand, David Hidalgo, Penny Castley, Natalie Kellner, Phyllis Kamansky, Sheldon Manspieser, Don Matthews, Barbara Nash, Stephen Newworth, Alan Nevis, Ruth Ocean, Harry Picard, Carol Randall, Robbie Regano, Deborah Lynn Ross, Sandy Schenker, Tybee Scher, Stan Stern, Eric Stitskin, Esther Stone, Giotto Tamakuala, Joan Wetzler, Yocheved Sarah Bat Etel, Moshe Yaakov ben Yocheved, Shimon Eliyahu ben Avraham Vasera. These words from Psalm 147 are not in your prayer book. We call God Harofelish Vure Lev. God, you are healer of the brokenhearted. Healer of the brokenhearted, binder of our wounds, counter of uncountable stars. You know who we are. הרופא לשבורי לב ומכבש לעצבותם, מונה מספר לכוכבים, לכולם שמות יקרא.
As we enter the closing prayers of our service, we rise as we go before the open ark for Aleinu, page 586 in the middle of the page.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו, ושמו, ושמו אחד.
Please be seated. All this is surely a Shabbat of great celebration and of new beginnings, new traditions here at Temple Israel. It's also a Shabbat in which we take note of those whom we have lost, both in recent days and at this season in years gone by. And so it is that we remember the members of our Temple Israel community and family who have passed in the last 30 days and whose Shiva or Shloshim we are in the midst of observing. Rhoda Singer, wife of Al, mother of Sharon Fireman and Jeffrey, David Singer and Jonathan Singer, grandmother of Elon and Hannah Fireman. Michael Stashauer, husband of Gloria, father of Susan and Paul Milbauer, Debbie Michael Missel and John Stashauer and Allison Adler, and grandfather of Jordan, Scott, and Matthew. Martha M. Fishman Weiss, sister of Arlene and Sandy Block, mother of Evan, aunt of Zachary and Joshua, and Ellen Wisser, mother of Jamie, Carrie, and Elise. If anyone here is observing Shiva or Shloshim, you may stand and share the name. And for your sight, the anniversary of the passing, we list the following loved ones and friends: Lee Appel, Lucille Barrett, Siegfried Beckman, Terrence Brumer, Leslie Cooper, Eileen Darman, Herman Diamond, Joy Freeman, J.P. Gasway, Estelle Glass, Marilyn Glosserman, Edna Goldman, Marshall Hockhauser, Sally Isbin, Mark Kaplan, Eleanor Kittay, Harry Kramer, Sheila Kreutzer, Lily Loris, Philip Lesser, Matthew Magidson, Pauline Marcus, Sarah Monshine, Stuart Perlman, Harold Perlin, Cynthia Reinhart, Bernard Rosenblum, Muriel Lazarus Sackler, Marcus Schless, Zala Schidder, Jenny Siegelaub, Joel Smilo, Jack Nathan Sobel, Philip Steinberg, Sylvia Steinberg, Stephen Swid, Martin Taub, Stanley Togut, Paul Wayne, and Marion Weinberg. And any of the other friends, family members, or loved ones who you would choose to name at this time as well. We rise as one congregation. And we turn to page 598 for these words of Mourner's Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, Be'alma divrach chirutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon v'yomechon, v'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael, ba'agalau v'zman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah m'varach le'elam lomei v'yah, Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar v'yitaleh v'yithalal shemei b'kudusha b'richu, le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shalom arab min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mramav, v'yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Amen. May the Holy One of blessing who creates harmony in the heavens above bring peace to us, to all Israel, and to all humanity. And we say together, Amen.
Ose shalom bimromav uyase shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael.
Okay. Ladies, we're so glad that you're here. You're going to lead us in a little kiddush so we can have a little sweet juice to celebrate Shabbat. Okay.
Do you want to grab the mic for them?
Oh, yes. There was a microphone as well.
Yeah.
Cool.
Can you all see? Do you want your binders? Okay. We'll start, and Rabbi Friedman will bring the microphone. Okay. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho be'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu zikaron lema'aseh v'reshit ki hu yom techila lemikra'ei kodesh zecher l'tziyat mitzrayim ki banu v'acharta ve'otanu kidashta mikol ha'abim ve'shabbat kodshecha be'ahava uvratzon hinchaltanu baruch atah Adonai mekadesh hashabbat
L'chaim.
l'chaim.
L'chaim. You can take a sip. Okay, Rabbi's bringing the challah
bring
down.
the challah
Let's all
to
put
you.
let's put the Kiddush cups down here on the step. That's fine. Right over here is fine.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz b'te'avon. Take a big piece. Take a big, enough for your whole family.
Yeah, take a big piece for your family.
Big piece. Big piece. Big piece.
You have a bigger
More if you
family than
want.
that, Lexi. There's challah for
Sure.
all just outside the sanctuary in a few moments. It's great.
We'll close
Well
with
done.
the words of the prophet Isaiah, Lo yisagoy el goy cherev. Lo yisagoy el goy cherev. Lo yilmedu od milchama. Lo yisagoy el goy cherev. Lo yilmedu od milchama. Eyo. Oh, eyo. Oh, Lo yisagoy el goy cherev. Lo yilmedu od milchama. Lo yisagoy